Hey scholars, today we're doing lesson 18. The objective for today's lesson is I can measure an object twice using different length units and compare. I can relate measurement to unit size. So before we start the lesson, I want us to remember what units or unit lengths or unit sizes are. Units is what you use to measure. For example, centimeters are units, inches are units, foot is a unit, a yard is a unit, a meter is a unit. So we're going to use different length units and we're going to compare. Then you can relate it to the unit size. So the size of a centimeter unit is about this big, and an inch unit is about this big. So we're going to relate measurement to unit sizes. Let's get started. Okay, for today, we're not going to do the fluency fact cards. We're going to do a decomposition tree. Okay, I want you to break apart 20 inches on your decomposition tree for 90 seconds. Okay, you're going to do as many problems as you can. So remember how we practiced on our paper, because we don't have the decomposition tree, on your paper, on the back of your application problem, if you want, put 20 inches and then copy this decomposition tree. So what I want you to do is pause the video, put your timer for 90 seconds, and let's see how many problems you can do in 90 seconds. Come back when you're done. Welcome back. Well, I hope you were able to do a lot of different ones. For example, 10 and 10, 19 and 1, 18 and 2, 15 and 5. Okay, very good. So if you were able to fill out the whole thing, guess you're right. All right, now it's time for application problem. Remember, we read the problem, draw a picture, and write our number sentence. So if you need to find your application problem for Module 7, Lesson 18, you can pause the video, go find your application problem, and come back. All right, application problem says, Ezra is measuring things in his bedroom. He thinks his bed is about 2 yards long. Now remember, 2 yards is about the width of the door, remember? So he thinks that's 2 yards long. Is this a reasonable estimate? That means, do you think he's estimating correctly? Explain your answers using pictures, words, or numbers. So again, pause the video, try to solve as much as you can by yourself using your own brain, and when you're done, you can come back. Well, what did you decide? Is this a reasonable estimate? Well, if you think about a bed, even the twin beds that are the smallest ones, if you measure the bed, I would think it's a reasonable estimate. Here's what I drew. I drew a picture of the bed, and then remember from the width of the door from one side to the other, that's the width, it's 1 yard, and then 2 yards. I think it would fit. So Ezra could be right because the bed could be a little longer than 2 classroom doors or any door that we have, and that is 2 yards. All right. Now, for this lesson, we were supposed to use partners, partner A and partner B, but because we don't have partners, you're going to be both. You're going to be partner A and you're going to be partner B, and you're going to be measuring up different objects using your ruler. Okay, so if you do have a ruler, you're going to need that. So go ahead and you can pause the video, find your ruler, and come back. All right, now that you have your ruler, there's several objects that I want you to measure. Okay, you're going to measure the objects using your inches. Remember your inch, it'll tell you right there that it's an inch. That's your inch side, and you're also going to use your centimeter side. Some rulers have centimeters, some don't. That's okay. So I want you to use inches and I want you to use centimeters to measure one object. Remember, we're going to compare. Okay, so here, the objects that you were supposed to do were an unsharpened pencil. So if you have an unsharpened pencil, go ahead and find one. If not, that's okay. Okay, and then a pink eraser. And then I have a crayon and a marker. Again, if you don't have these objects, that's fine. You don't need to do these. You can go ahead and find your own objects as long as you measure those objects with both sides of your ruler, with your inches and your centimeters, okay? So here, for example, let's say I want to measure the pencil, my pencil. So I'm gonna write my object is my pencil. Now I have to figure out my length in centimeters first. See how right here it tells you centimeters? So you have to figure out in centimeters. So you go to your ruler, centimeters are the smaller side. So you put your pencil on the centimeter side and you measure. So my pencil is about 19 centimeters. Now remember, if you don't have a pencil, you can use anything around your house, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to make a chart and measure the objects, okay? And now that same pencil, I'm going to turn my ruler around and use my inch side. So I would put my pencil right at the beginning, remember, no gaps. And my pencil is about, it's exactly 7.5 inches. So because it's 7.5 inches, I'm gonna say it's 8 inches. Because remember, if it's half, you go to the next number. 7.5, 8. Okay, now I want you to measure, I know you don't have items in a bag, but I want you to go and look for different objects, whichever one you want. I want you to have fun and measure different objects, okay? So I want you to pause the video, go measure objects, write them down, and come back. Okay, now that we've measured different objects, I want us to focus, for example, on the pencil because it's the one that I have here. Notice how it's 19 centimeters, but it's only 8 inches. How is that possible? How can it be 19 centimeters and only 8 inches? What do you think? Are both measurements correct? Yes, right? I was using different units. My units in centimeters was 19 and my unit in inches was 8. So yes, they are both correct, right? Now, which one's longer? A unit of a centimeter or of an inch? Which one's longer? Look at your ruler. Is it an inch that's longer or more, or is it a centimeter? An inch, right? So remember the rule. The longer the unit, the less that you need. So because our inches are longer, then we don't need that many. But our centimeters are smaller, so that means we need more centimeters to measure. So the smaller the unit, the more that you need. Or the longer the unit, the less that you need. Okay, don't forget that rule. So remember that centimeters are smaller, so it takes more of these centimeters to cover the length of our pencil. Okay? Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and get this here. And so I want you to look at yours. Did you notice a difference? Centimeters will always be more than inches because centimeters is a smaller unit. So you'll always need more centimeters than inches because centimeters are small. Okay, now using your ruler, what I want you to do is I want you to draw 2 lines on a piece of paper. So you can get whatever piece of paper. I want you to draw 2 lines. I want one to be 5 inches and one to be 5 centimeters. So again, we're gonna grab our paper, whatever paper we have, okay? And we're gonna measure a line that is 5 inches. So you just really, all you're gonna do is grab your paper, put it here, and then remember you start at this part and then make it 5 inches. This one is 5, and I'm going to put 5 inches there so that I know the measurement. Okay? And then another one that's 5 centimeters. So I'm going to turn around my ruler and do 5 centimeters. You do the same. So if you need to pause the video so you can make your lines, go ahead and do that. You have to do both. We don't have partners, so we got to do both. Make your lines and put 5 centimeters. Did you measure your lines? Look at mine. Ooh, sorry. Which line is longer? Which one's longer? Your 5 inches or your 5 centimeters? They're both 5. Which one's longer? Your 5 inches, right? And how do we know that? Is that correct? Yes, because 5 inches is a longer unit, right? So that's why the line was longer. Centimeters are a tiny unit, so that's why the line was a lot smaller. Very good. Now, how many centimeters do you think it would take to make 5 inches? So think. Look at your line with the inches. How many centimeters do you think it would take? Can you estimate first? So think. If 5 centimeters was only up to here, right? Then I can estimate. So that's 5 centimeters. That's another 5 centimeters. Mark and move. What do you think? I think about 15 centimeters. We need about 15 centimeters to make 5 inches. Let's go see and get your ruler on the centimeter side and measure the line that was 5 inches. What did you get? What did you get? Get the same thing I did? I got 13 centimeters. So I was close. I said 15 and it was about 13 centimeters. So we need 13 centimeters to measure a line that's only 5 inches long. Because remember, the smaller the unit, the more that you need, right? Okay. Now, let's measure to see about how many inches our 5 centimeter line is. So again, go to your 5 centimeter line, the little tiny one, okay, and let's guess more or less how many inches do you think that line is? I would think about 2 or 3. What do you think? Okay, let's go ahead and measure it. Remember the centimeter line, now we're gonna measure it in inches to see how many inches it is. I got it right, guys. Well, I just, look, what is it? It's 2. So in a 5 centimeter line, you need 2 inches. Very good. Okay. Now it's time for your problem set. That was quick, right? And fun and easy. It was a quick lesson. So remember, our objective is we're going to measure using 2 units. We're using centimeters and inches. So on your problem set, what you're going to do is you're going to measure line number 1 using your centimeters, and then you write how many centimeters here, and then using your inches, and you write how many inches here. You're going to do the same for the rest. And then here's the back. Here it tells you draw a line with the measurements below. So you write a 3 centimeter long and a 3 inch long line. So again, you don't really need a lot of tools if you don't have any. As long as you have a ruler, you can measure different objects and see the difference between centimeters and inches. And that's the lesson for today. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you again for lesson 19. Take care, guys. Miss ya. Bye.